in order to totally recreate yourself into a completely different person, into someone who is the most optimal version of yourself, the optimal man that you know you could be, it takes a lot of work. It's not just going to happen overnight. If right now you're a little beta and you're scared of life and you're not disciplined, you're not responsible, you're scared to talk to women, all these things, right? It's going to take a lot of work. So you have to decide and decide today that you're going to make a change, because total recreation doesn't just happen overnight. I've recreated myself, right? Someone who knew me years ago is not going to know the man that I am today because I've totally recreated myself. So, in order for you to totally recreate yourself and get yourself to the most optimal version of yourself, like I said, it's going to take years. It's going to take years of learning micro skills, meaning learning small things that you could improve on. There's so many things that you could improve on that you simply haven't really put too much effort into that area in life because you don't really think that it's really that important. But in reality, in the grand scheme of things, if you want to become the best version of yourself, there's so many little skills, so many little things that you need to improve on. And overall, after years of constant improvement in these small areas, guess what? You're going to be the best version of yourself that you could be, the best version of yourself that you've been all your life. Because the best version of you, I believe it never stops. I believe you could always be better. I believe there's always things that can be improved. However, if you start today, 3 years from now, you'll be the best version that you've been all your life. I'm not saying the best that you can be forever. I'm saying the best that you can be all your life. One second. Drinking water. My parents are like, oh, you don't drink water. Look at me now. Drinking water. Oh, yeah. But anyways, like I was saying, it takes so many micro skills. If you go back to my first video, you will see that I've improved in my YouTube videos, but it's not just YouTube videos. It's myself as a person. Improving on YouTube has helped me to become a better person in life, to my people, to my peers, to everyone around me. I've became a better person, a better man because of the micro skills, the constant effort at trying to improve the minor things. For example, let me go ahead and give you an example. If you go back to my first video, you'll notice that now I can talk more concisely and you can hear me better, right? Because that was one of the biggest problems I had when I worked at a firehouse. Back in the day, I worked at a firehouse making subs. This was when I was in high school. This was my second job, yeah. First I worked at McDonald's, next it was Firehouse. And when I was working at Firehouse, I remember I used to be making the wraps, the subs, right? And I'd be making them, but some days my manager would say, "Hey, go ahead and go to the cashier and cash people out." And the problem that I was having is that people could not hear me because I did not speak very clearly, very concisely. I spoke in a low tone. I spoke in a way that people couldn't really hear me unless you really knew me because I didn't speak very loudly. So, over time, in order for me to become the best version of myself, I had to pick up on these minor errors that I was doing, and I had to realize I could be better at this. So speaking was one of those. And it wasn't until I started on YouTube that I could actually see. That's why I believe that if you want to become a more effective communicator, a better speaker, just record yourself. Record yourself every day. That's the formula that I've used. I've recorded myself every day. If you look at my videos, 430 something videos. So that's 430 something attempts at whatever it is to practice over and over. So even if for some reason I don't get people on here, I don't care because I'm totally recreating myself. And every single video that I make is a better attempt and a closer version that I am getting to of the best version of myself, the most optimal man that I can be. Because guess what? After 1,000 tries, after 1,000 tries that I do it, and after 1,000 tries that you do it, guess what? You're going to be so much better. Right now, I'm at 433 videos. Wait until I'm at 1,000 videos on this channel. Wait until. If you know the improvement that you've seen from my first to now, imagine. You can't even imagine it. So when you, let's say you're here a couple years from now and you see the 1,000th video, you can go back to the 400th video and you're going to see a massive improvement. Why? Because I'm constantly working on the micro skills, and the micro skills is what's going to get you to become the man that you could be. And I'm going to break down a couple of the micro skills, right? Because some guys, maybe you guys weren't really trained, or maybe you guys weren't really taught by a father figure, a masculine person. And even if you were, there's always small things that you can improve, right? For example, if you want to start off, maybe you're not very social. Back in my days, I wasn't very social. Back when I was 8th grade, a little bit of high school, I wasn't very social. I didn't really talk to too many people. I talked to a few select people that I felt like I could confine in, because naturally I'm an introvert. But after a long time, it took me years to learn that being an introvert is not about lacking social skills. Being an introvert is simply choosing to be with yourself, right? To have a few select group of friends. However, that does not mean just because you're an introvert, you can slack. That doesn't mean you can slack with your communication, right? Because you still got to know how to communicate. You still got to be able to communicate your ideas in a way that people can understand it in order for you to get places in life, right? Because all that introvert shit, it doesn't matter. If you don't have social skills, you're going to fucking lose in life. You're going to be a loser for the rest of your life if you don't have social skills. Why? Because in this world, you need to connect with others. And if you tell yourself, I'm an introvert, I can't, I just don't know how to talk. No, stop blaming it on the fact that you're an introvert. You are simply not getting the time in to practice your communication skills and your social skills, right? And that's okay, because you can learn. You can learn it. It's something that can be learned, because at one point in my life, I would have never thought that I'd be doing door-to-door sales, right? I do door-to-door sales. I talk to hundreds of people a day, new people, strangers, every single day. And guess what? At one point in my life, I didn't talk to many people, not even in my school, because I always felt like my social skills were lacking. To some degree, I felt like my social skills were lacking. And it wasn't until I started working on them that I couldn't have been the man I am today if I didn't work on the micro skills. Now, I talk to anyone. I don't care. People see me as someone that is social, right? But it wasn't always that way. It wasn't always that way because I was more reserved. I didn't like to talk to too many people because, like I said, my social skills were lacking. But now, if you were to get to know me again, someone from my past, they'll see that I'm a completely different man. Things like shaking someone's hand, making eye contact. These are the micro skills that you need to learn in order to become the best version of yourself. Shaking someone's hand. How do you shake someone's hand? Do you shake it firmly? Do you shake it half-assed? Do you squeeze the fuck out of their hand like you're about to break it and shake that shit off? I hate those motherfuckers. The motherfuckers who grab your hand and fucking squeeze that shit. Now it's about to be a squeeze battle, bitch. Because now I'm going to have to squeeze your fucking hand back because what the fuck are you trying to do? So the question is, do you know how to shake a hand properly? Do you know how to make eye contact? Are you making firm eye contact, and are you knowing when to break it a little bit and when to engage? Or are you like timid like this? I can't make eye contact. Oh my goodness. Or are you like this? Because both are extremes. If you're the motherfucker who's scared and it's a little beta, it's like, oh fuck, I can't make eye contact. Guess what? Nobody's gonna respect you. But if you're the motherfucker who be staring hella hard and doesn't know when to break eye contact, motherfuckers are gonna think you're a creep. They're gonna say, what's wrong with this guy? Is he okay? Is he mentally unstable or something? Is he on drugs? Has he taken cocaine, methamphetamine, Percocets? What has he taken that he's fucking staring at me this way and he shaked my hand hella hard? You know what? I think he's a serial killer. Let me call the police. I think I found the new serial killer. This might even be the Zodiac killer. So understand that the micro skills are what's going to get you to become the best version of yourself. Shaking a hand firmly, not too hard, not too soft. What staring, some not staring, but making eye contact with someone, firm eye contact, not too creepy, not too, not too soft. Learning how to project your voice, not too soft, not too loud, screaming, right? You don't want to be screaming. I hate those motherfuckers too. The motherfuckers who be screaming. It's like, bro, I'm right next to you. Why are you screaming? So, learning how to project your voice in a way that is appropriate, learning how to listen. Maybe your focus isn't there, and that's a micro skill. Learning how to listen to someone, and that's another part of communication, bettering your communication. Half of communication is listening, because you have to listen in order to be able to communicate, because you got to understand what the other person is saying in order to go ahead and respond effectively. That's why a lot of guys are scared to approach women. Guess what? Half of it is just listening. Why are you so worried about what do you have to say? Just listen. Talk to her. You said your half. Now she talks. Now you do your half and you listen. And once you listen, you respond to the other half that she put in. See, these are the very small details. How do you have your hair cut? Is it scraggly and do you get 2 haircuts a year? Maybe you're broke and you can only afford that. Or do you, I don't know, do you get a haircut every single week? Do you look spiffy, right? Do you smell like shit? This is a micro skill too. Do you smell good? Do you smell like shit? A skill of making sure you smell good. This is the skill of your hygiene, your appearance, so many different micro skills that are ultimately going to make you into the man that you can possibly and potentially become. But like I said, you have to start today. You have to start today. The skill of discipline, the skill of waking up on time and sticking to your word, it's a skill. If you suck at it right now, you suck at it, because any skill that you start off, you're going to suck at. The skill of keeping your word to yourself, at first you're going to suck. At first you're going to be like, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it. And then you try again, I'm going to do this, and then you don't do it. You're not holding your word to yourself. But the more that you try, if you never give up, any skill that you choose to get better at, if you never give up at that skill, you will improve. So if you want to become a man of your word, it might not happen overnight unless you're mentally resilient. But if you're not, it's going to take many failed attempts, many feelings of regret to look back and say, I regret that. Let me try again. I regret that. Let me try again. And eventually, you will perfect it. All right, guys? So it's the micro skills that counts. So go ahead, start today, and become the man that you can be. Become that optimal man. All right? Like the video, comment down below, and subscribe, baby. I'm out.